Ladies and gentlemen, railbirds from around the world, welcome to the 2024 Derby City Classic. This is round 2 action here. This is a one-pocket division, and you're tuned in with Somerfield Habener with Railbirds TV. Big shout out to Bad Boys for all their support of the stream here. We're joining this match in progress. That's Ed Hobbs at the table right now, taking a swing that is not his pocket. Ed will be the upper left, Oscar is the lower left. As I've said, we're playing one pocket here. Oscar's got to make 8 balls in his pocket before Ed makes 8 in his. Oscar moving that 9 over towards his pocket, freezing him on the back of the 5. One pocket's a very defensive-minded game, so they're always going to be trying to do something, moving something towards their hole and getting safe. Every foul in one pocket is going to cost you a ball. The 3-foul rule is in effect. This is a race to 3, and it's alternate break format. And from the looks of it, Oscar broke this one. It's going to try to slide underneath that 11. He might have gotten fortunate there, but it looks like he made contact with the 5-7. I didn't really see him move, but calling it out. The rule with that is if you move one ball, your opponent has the option to move it back. If you move two balls, it's going to be a foul. So a little opening here for Oscar. Nothing makeable, but a good chance to push that 2 to his side and get behind the stack. Might be able to do something with the 14, but that 2 ball's frozen. It's going to be pretty tough. And didn't get a great roll off that 2 ball. Wasn't able to make contact. He would have liked to have disturbed the 14-6. Boy, that window's getting tighter and tighter for Ed. He's really going to have to look at the back half of some balls. He's already on 1 foul, so can't really... You can take a foul here, but as I've said, the 3-foul rule is in effect, so taking a foul here is pretty dangerous. He's looking at just doubling him up here. Coming off the 8 and going towards the lower right-hand part of your screen here. So it looks like he can make contact with the 11-2. He'd like to back cut the 4, but unfortunately that puts him going into the stack. He doesn't really want to move anything towards Ed's hole. Doesn't look like he's going to want to elevate, and from that position is pretty tough. He's pretty close to the rail. Ed did a good job with that. If he can jack up and fire at the 4, but boy, getting enough draw to avoid that 5 ball is tricky. That 5-10-8 is lined up right towards Ed's pocket. I'm not sure what he'll try here. If he can catch enough of the 9 or 11, he might try to disturb those balls next to his pocket and get the cue ball over behind there. Oscar, one of the dominant forces here in one pocket as well. Always plays pretty well. Owner and proprietor of Hard Times Billiards down in Sacramento, California. If you're a true railbird, check that place out. It's about as good as it gets. Hosts a lot of great tournaments. So Oscar going to take a foul here. Yeah, and I mean just burying Ed. Ed's going to have a really tough time getting under those balls. The nice thing for Ed is that he knows nothing goes towards Oscar's hole. Not sure if they're going to realize it, but the rule here at Derby City Classic is no 2 players are supposed to be in the negative, so theoretically they should be back to 0-0. A lot of players don't know that, so we'll continue on at -1, -1. Yeah, you can... If you're not going to take a foul here, you almost have to try to take a swing at this, cut the 4 into the pack, try and get under that 11-2. Boy, I just don't see a whole lot else. If he has the whole 3 ball, he can try to roll into the 3 and stay behind those. Just can't let that ball leak out at all. All right, so moving everything out of Oscar's hole. Doing an amazing job. I don't even know what just happened, but he just got 4 balls out of there. Oscar giving him the tap of respect. 2 balls not cuttable. Great shot by Ed Hobbs there. Everything's a lot more open for Oscar now, though, so he's going to kind of go back to maintaining his advantage. Yeah, just putting him up table, protecting that 2 ball. He might have left it kickable for Ed, though. He might just be able to kick under that 2. He's going to want to do something a little more aggressive if he can pull it off. He's got to get something over on his side. Might be able to play that 3 ball into the 5, 10, 8 and then slide underneath the 2. Head moving a bunch out again, using that 14, getting, and look at the result of that shot. Again, another really good shot, getting a pretty fortunate roll there with the 14 rolling in front of the 2. Ed, a player out of the Seattle area. He's owns a tap league out there. Shout out to Ed. He also does a lot to promote pool in the Northwest. Great one-pocket player. Oscar looking like he might have a lane on the 5, probably trying to clip that 2, but doesn't. I don't know if he can avoid that 10 ball. I like the 14-2, banking the 2 back ear hole. That's a good shot. Gets on the back side of the 14. Nice work there. If Ed wants to get aggressive, he can bank that 11. He's got to be real careful with the cue ball. Try to get to the back half of the 9. Otherwise, he's got an easy kiss off the 11 and under the 15. He's just... That's what I thought was he was kicking behind the 15. Boy, puts it right by his pocket. Really good result there. Yeah, keeping the pressure on Oscar. Yeah, Oscar looking down table, but there's not much he can do with the 15 hanging there for Ed. Can move this 5 ball, freeze him on the back of the 7. Can definitely kick under the 15. So he's looking at using the pack to make sure Ed can't get to the 15. Seeing if he can spin that 5 ball over. It's hard to believe he's got enough room to cut that enough. Yeah, it's tight. I think kicking under the 15 is the right call here. So he's coming all 3 rails behind it. Ends up taking a foul. So Oscar's -2, but he's not on 2. Boy, I tell you, that 2 off the 12, that's what he's looking at. Looks like it's got a good line over there, but it's hard to protect your 15 from that point. He's taking a swing at it. Looks like if you can roll forward, you probably got a chance to get behind the 8-10. It looks like the rest of them are going to move. Gets on the 8. Yeah, wide open balls are definitely favoring the stronger player, so Oscar doesn't mind that one bit. Moving this 15 out of there. Didn't get a rail there. Boy, that was close. Didn't want to sell that 2 ball as a return bank. Cost him another ball. Yeah, there's nowhere to duck anymore. I mean, you got a lot of single ball spaces to get behind. I think he'd like to be up there behind the 6 ball. Yep, right up where he's pointing now. If he can protect against the 12, should be all right. Looks like he's got room to work off the 10 ball here. And so he's going to use going all the way down to the 6. 13. It's going to end up a little wide. I think Oscar might have a cut on the 12. Definitely has the 7 ball also. So probably leaving him a little more room to work than he would have liked. Both players in a tough spot, though. Could definitely sell the game at any point. Oscar needs 11 at this point, so that is a factor. Starts with a combo. It does fall for him. Whew. That's a big one. Does a good job protecting it. Plays the 2-way. 9-12 is makeable. Not as easy as it looks. Looks like he's got a line to bank the 10 and get under the 2 if you'd like that. It's a pretty tricky little shot there. So marries him under that 9 ball. Ed can't get to the 12. Oscar drops a -2. Ed's looking at kicking under the 9 ball. I don't think he's got the room to do it. It's hard to hit the right half of the ball here to move the 12 out with a 9 being that close to the rail. And maybe he's got it. All right, so just nudging the 12 out. Hard to not scratch on that shot. Well executed. Also protects the bank lanes from the 12-15. Yeah, Oscar's got to get somewhere up table if he wants to protect that 15-9, but just so many balls threatening there for Ed. If you get great behind the 5 ball here, that's where he's pointing. Boy, the 14's a big ball from there, though. 2 ball, obviously, just hanging. Like to not use the 9, but I think that's your obvious ball. Just gonna use the 7. Oh, never mind, is kicking up there. Going all the way behind there. Leaving the combo, knowing that, I mean, Ed's gonna have a hard time shooting that with everything just turned towards Oscar's pocket. He's feeling frisky, though. That's a shot. Aside from that, he's probably going to either kick under the 12 or play up the 9 under the 12. You know, Oscar had to take a foul from that position last time, so he'd love to put him right back there. Yeah, Ed knows he's got to be really careful with his shot. All the balls are available for Oscar, even though he needs 11 of them. So I probably double him up behind the 613. Ooh, almost overrolled that ball. Oscar might try to slip under the 2 here. Play off the 4 and underneath. Just banking the 5, really good luck. Still gets to a good spot. Opens up the 14. Definitely kind of taunting Ed into shooting here. This is a tester. I mean, that 14 ball very makeable, but you're still 7 feet away from it hanging on the rail. Looking at playing the 2-way here, but looks like he's going to roll a little too far to get safe if he shoots that 14. I kind of like banking the 9 ball here and rolling behind the 12. Yeah, just going to move that ball out. Does he get high enough? I'm not sure. He might have sold enough of that 2 to bank. Yeah, a bunch of options here. Oscar can even bank the 8 ball underneath the 2 and follow it down. He's just going to knock this 5 closer, get under the 2. He had the line to make it. Wow. I saw him looking at that line coming around the 10-11, but I did not think that ball cut. It's the threat of Oscar Dominguez. Tough spot for the 9 ball, though. Yeah, I'm not sure if he can avoid that side pocket from there. Might be able to draw out of it. Well, if he could, he'd be shooting it. I was looking at that. So the 3 railer on the 6 ball, I think the 312 comes into play if you shoot it. Yep. Doesn't like that one. Yeah, he might just be forced to try and draw under this 13. And if you don't overpower this ball but stroke it right, boy, it's still a big side pocket right there. Looking at coming off the 7. Looks like he's trying to just go into the 2 as opposed to get under it. Moves the 2 ball, avoids the bank. Nice shot. Oscar back to -2. Only needs 10. Haven't seen Ed play this shot yet, but I mean, one of the obvious shots is just thinning off the 8 coming to the back of those balls. He's trying to keep him pushed down table. Making the 9, trying to keep the 7 low enough so it doesn't bank. Kind of gives Oscar a way out of jail here. He's got a clear path to the 215, and I think he can just knock both those balls out. It's a little funky. He wants to make sure he doesn't catch a double kiss on the 2 ball to keep the 15 there. Right? Not moving him out of there, but marrying him up. He's probably not going to like that too much. That's a very makeable combo for Ed. I kind of like banking the 3 back in my hole. Like to move that 215 if at all possible. It looks like he's got room to just kind of float up there. Stay to the left of the 13. Just thinking about doing the same with a 14 ball. I feel like that's going to push me into the 312 though. You can slide between the 12-11, but knocking the 13 out over there. Leaves Oscar a 2 railer, but I don't think he's going to be too tempted. Looks like he's kicking under the 15-2. Doesn't want to catch that rail first, so going to drop to -3. He does tie those balls up, though. Ed trying to open him back up, not really getting there. He's going to leave a bank on the 6 here. Oscar not even really looking at it because down table is just so much more important right now. If he feels like he can get to a safe spot though. Yeah, so just trying to stay in the upper right hand part of the screen if he shoots it. Yeah, the 14 has kind of been taken out of the equation. I think the 2 ball plays if he tries to shoot the 14. The 4-15 is there. Wow. Almost drills that shot. Again, I think he just banked that off the top side of those frozen balls. Very aggressive shot. Puts a 15 right in front of his pocket, gets behind the 13 ball. He might force Ed to shoot here. Looks like the 14 passes the 2 now. And yeah, you kind of just don't have a choice at this point. You have an aggressive shot, a way more difficult defensive shot. and barely rattling that ball out. Gets kind of fortunate with that 14 as well. I don't think the 8 cuts into the 15 anymore. It's probably going to try the 8 rail first into the 15. Either that or just knock the 8 over there and freeze behind the 5-9.
Please go to the registration desk. Scooter Goodman to the registration desk.
These are two players that I love to watch play.
Please come to the tournament desk.
Oscar is such an offensive threat. Wow. All the way behind that 2 ball. That's brutal. That's going to hurt. It does leave Ed the kick lane, and that's about all he can do here. I think he's probably going to kick behind that 14-15. Yeah, boy, if you're coming up table, you got to get him real good. Got a little more margin for error on this kick, but still got to hit it good. Not kicking, just trying to come underneath there. Doesn't quite get there. Boy, and if the 14 doesn't pass the 15, he might have got away with it. I think Oscar's got a part of a pocket at least, though. I could see Oscar thinning off the 7 and coming behind the 3-6. Yeah, the last thing you want to do is let Ed clear those balls out. We saw him move 4 balls in one shot. Definitely pretty comfortable swinging at the ball. If the cut's there on the 14, I can't imagine Oscar not shooting it. Trying to get that 13 up there, but doesn't quite get there. Looks like Ed can roll under the 15 and knock it out just high enough. 8 ball's very bankable from there, though. A lot of threats in front of his hole. Ed was looking at the 12, and I think the only way to play that is rail first off the thin side of the 2 and try and get behind the 4. But at that point, you end up making the ball. It kind of works against you. He's kicking under it. Oh, and leaks out. That's going to be trouble. Oscar's in a tough spot here, though. Not an easy shot to reach for a right-handed player. Left-handed player would be just fine here. Yeah, he's going to have to get tricky. I'd be surprised to see him not use the bridge here. A less than ideal queuing position for sure. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. I saw Alex shoot one backwards one time, shooting directly back into him. Looks like he's kind of looking at using the slip of the rail to cheat the pocket just a little bit.
We've got a round 11 match coming up on table 19 right away. Dominguez and Shane Van.
Gets there. Yeah, it's scary. It looks like you're going to hang that ball up, but he's so close to the pocket. Able to push that one in. Oscar shooting for 10 here. Be interesting to see when he chooses to go into the stack. He's got to move those balls. 8 ball is probably your easiest one. You still got a bailout ball with the 14. It's going to come up for the 13. Again, you got a good line into it, but it's pushing him the wrong way. He's looking to keep in his advantage and maybe banking the 2, maybe banking the 9 ball. So does move him, opens him up. Worked out pretty well. The 111 wide open, the 5-9 combos there. He's going to have a hard time getting around this one, though. Again, jacked up over a ball. Trying to draw behind there is tough. So yeah, he's looking at just taking the bank on the 5 now. Looking at where those balls are going to spot. Yeah, you can punch this bank, still leave yourself a shot on the 9 if you make it. A little low. Does he catch it low enough? Right, almost pockets that 14 ball. That's a great one to hang. Oscar's back to even. And that's a tough spot for Ed. Ed doesn't have a clear kick path to either direction to get to that 14 ball. Yeah, Oscar just such an offensive threat, especially with the ball hanging. It's tough. Ed might be forced to take a foul here. And if he can get back to the same spot he's in right now, Oscar doesn't have a clear path either. Can definitely play off either the 2 or 10. Come back into the stack. Looking at just making that 14 ball, that's what you'd like to do, but looks like he's got to spin it a little past the 3-6. Maybe he has a clear path at it. So has the clear kick, drills it. Good solid contact. Nice shot for Ed Hobbs. Yeah, boy, that That kick saves him right there. Oscar's going to have a hard time turning that 5 ball to bank it. I think he might thin off the 5, come off the foot rail, side rail, back into the stack. Looking at putting Ed up table again. Over behind the 12 bore. Still gets Ed to the 5 ball though.
Tournament disc is looking for Kenny Loftus and Troy Honeycutt. Troy Honeycutt and Kenny Loftus to the tournament disc.
Looks like he can probably back cut the 4 at the 10, move those balls up a little bit, and still get over behind the 5. He might just want to move that 5 out of there though. The line off the 15 for the 1 is interesting also. Kicking at that 5 ball does it really well. That's 2 really good kicks for Ed Hobbs. It looks like Oscar's got room to work with the 13. I don't think it's pocketable. He's going to take a foul here, huh? Okay, 1 off the 2. I didn't think he quite had the path to do that. Moves the ball. Great shot. Be surprised to see Ed pocket the 6, try to get behind the 7 here. Yeah, really looking for any chance to advance some balls here. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be thrilled with that. Looks like he can bank the 1 and follow it down there. Looks like you can either play the 1 into the 2, or if you want to bank it further down, try and play off the bottom of the 5. So you have room to twist the 3 around the 7. Line looks tight. Does look like he can get safe behind the 12-4. Yeah, I kind of see him banking this 1, following it down. All the way into the 2 ball, or all the way into the 5. Wow. Almost makes that 2. Again, terrific shot there for Oscar. That's going to try to get under this 2. Yeah, I think he's got to play off the 8 here. He's looking at just playing off the 5 and floating up under the 8, but yeah, he definitely tends to play a little more aggressive shots than that in this situation. Just kicking under the 2 again. That's going to cost him. Yeah, that's a tough one. Had a little too much speed on that one for it to hang up. Head's going to drop to -2. Oscar needs 7. 3 ball is in the kitchen. Derby City Classic rules are the entire ball, not the base of the ball. So the entire ball would have to be out of the kitchen for that to be shootable. Eight ball is going to be a big one here. If it goes, everything looks pretty different. Yeah, boy, it's still hard to move those balls in the right way to open them up and stay on the right side. Looking at the 8 here. Looking at the high side, that contact-induced throw can help you drag that 8 ball down a little bit on that cut. If he doesn't like it, I wouldn't be surprised to see him come all the way up for the 11 next. Ooh, hangs it up. Yeah, that's a hard miss. Oscar obviously a little disappointed in that effort. Well, if Ed didn't know the kick before, he's going to before long. One ball's buried deep, though, too. At some point, kicking for survival just feels like a losing battle. In this situation, though, you need 10. Oscar only needs 7. He's got 1 hanging. I think you got to take this kick. Playing the 3-railer. Wow. Even smaller ball from there gets there. Oh, nice kick for Ed Hobbs. I mean, yeah, staying inside the line on that 12-4. That is a very small ball from there. Excellent shot. Does he have the 2-railer on the 11? I think that's what he's looking at. Yeah, hits it a little narrow, but he's still gonna work out well for him. Can Ed sneak the 13 past there? I think he's got a bank here. I think he can bank that ball back at the 5 and still stay on the bottom side of the 211. He's looking past the 5. Yeah, I mean, he's got a pocket. Comes into the 5 instead. Nice shot. Looks like Oscar's going to have to spin kick into the 5 ball here. Unless he wants to try to move them both. Boy, if you can get behind that 513, though, it's dangerous. Yeah. Both players' balls move just far enough away from their pocket and low enough that there's a little more of the table to work with. Looks like he's coming up table. We're using the 15 to slide under. Even nudging the ball just a little more. Would have liked to have protected the 13-5 a little better there. That gives Oscar some options. Under the 13 to kick the 5 out is there. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I mean, you can twist the 9 back here. Yeah, all the way down. 4 ball does not look like it has a pocket, but it's close. Also looks like Oscar, or like Ed, could overcut the 4 just a little bit and get behind the 12. A little riskier shot. I think he'll probably play off the 9 and under behind the 211. Well struck, nice touch. Certainly not making it easy for Oscar here. Yeah, you've got a line to thin off the 7, come back towards Ed's pocket, but it's a lot of table. You're on the rail. Probably just going to play to that upper right-hand corner pocket. Elevating. Gets over there. Ged's probably going to kick behind. See, out of the bottom rail here and into the 2. Love to be frozen behind that 11 ball. And he's looking... Is he looking at using the 4? Yeah, far more aggressive shot. He's got to get all the way to that rail. Does move the balls, though. Well struck. Gosh, you just can't get away from that line of the 12-4-10, though. Oscar looks like he can move the 15 and still leave him kind of tripled up there. Also looks like he could potentially play off the 3 behind the 6, kind of opening up his bank lane a little bit. He's looking at playing off the 7. Off the 11 here. Or is he? Yeah, he's got room for the 15. Playing the 3-reeler, getting exactly where he pointed to on the 7 ball. Very nice shot. Pretty. It's probably going to thin off the 15 here. Get behind the 211. Either caught it a little thin or hit it a little hard. Looks like he might be able to play the 11 into the 5, knocking both of them out and rolling the cue ball forward. He's looking at the kick path up at the 10. Thinking about thinning the 11 off the 2. Oh, goes for it. Doesn't convert. It's a good shot, though, and I mean, pretty much gets away with it. That's a long reach for Ed to shoot this 5 ball. Ed hasn't looked at a cut shot in a while, though. Yep. Pretty big pocket from that spot. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ed shoot this. He's got natural line to come up and back and get behind all those balls. It's a tougher cut, but, I mean, this is the time to shoot it. Yeah, Oscar's not going to be happy with that. How'd he hit it? Big shot there for Ed Hobbs. Did he get down for the 9? The 9's huge from there. You can shoot the 8, but boy, if you can start with the 9, you got a lot better chance of getting into some balls. Looks like he's got a draw around this. Hope he doesn't get stuck on the 15. Clears through there. Nice shot. $13, I would imagine, back to the 2. Doesn't want to make contact with that 2. Does so very well. Might try to move the 11 ball here. Does make contact, but keeps it pretty much where he's at. He's in good position to come up for that 10 ball now. You don't want to leave those balls in front of Oscar's hole, but pretty natural line. Himself pretty steep. Good line to get back for the 11 if he wants to. Also over and back for the 4. Over hits it a little bit. Yeah, he's going to be forced to bank that 15 ball. Or he's a butcher. Boy, if you're cutting that 11, you're feeling pretty good. Ed needs 4. Pretty free bank on the 15 ball here. Can also bank the 15 and get back behind the 11. Ed's shooting. He wants out. Wow, that's not an easy shot. Yeah. Well, he sure knows better than I do, but I like the bank on the 15. Ed Hobbs spotting a couple up with a 4-2 lead. Leaving Oscar big tester here. Nice shot. Gets his 1. I think the 2 rail line is blocked for the 12. Maybe not. Maybe he can get around the side. If he can do that and get behind the 4, it's a great shot. Great opening game here. Moving these balls, probably coming down behind the 11. It's a pretty nice touch. Doesn't quite get under it, but that's just about what he wanted. Four ball took a lot of the table away from Ed. So ball two railer behind the 8-10, I think. Just keeping it low. I don't think he put that ball into bankable range. So what he's looking at though, just getting it, banking it back on his side. Nope, just keeping the cue ball low again. Again, keeping him close enough to the rail that I don't think Ed's going to try and twist that 12 back at his hole. Or is he? Wow. It's a guy that's been playing bank pool for a week right there. Nice try. Yeah, and again, I mean, you're probably going to lose that ball anyway. You feel safe not slipping under the 411. Does sell Oscar a two railer here. Narrow again. Gets it close enough though that it's a threat. Pretty free bank here for Ed on the 11. Doesn't look like it goes. Does it slip between that 410? Wow. I wouldn't want to do anything to mess with that 4 ball. I'd be way more concerned about moving it towards my pocket and using the 4. Wow, does it go? Look at that shot. Oh, man. Excellent effort there for Ed Hobbs. Does leave the 11 bankable, though. This is one I think a lot of people naturally hit this fat, so the 12's pretty makeable from here. Almost pocketing that ball. Just gonna kick that 12 ball out of there. It hits those pretty good. That 3-7-6 has been beneficial for Ed this entire time. Just kind of clogging up his bank lane. Yeah, that's, I think he's looking at moving some of that a little bit. Just kicking over there. Look out off that 3 ball though. Wow. That is a roll. Hooked on that 6. Easy to try and get cute in these close proximity battles, but Oscar's got too much threat, and I think he's just gonna play off the 6 here. Get down table. Looking at moving the 7 over and getting under the 6. Doesn't get under the 6 though. That's what I mean. Just got a little too cute. Leaves that 11 wide open. Oscar needs 5. He's going to have to move that 8-10. Yeah, not an easy out from here. Big opening shot. Missed that ball pretty good. And Ed's got a chance to get out here. He only needs 4. He's either going to have to move the 8-10 or find a way to get under the 11-4. I'm not sure that 3 ball passes. Taking a good look at it now. Looking at the bank on the 8. Not able to pocket that 12 ball. Yep, that's not a good feeling. Doing so much thinking in one pocket that it's really hard to just make that decision to cut the thinking out of your mind. Realize you just got to buckle down and make this ball. This is not an easy removal for Oscar. It's in the jaws. He might swing at taking it out just because you're not taking a huge risk. There's not a bunch of balls available, but it's one of those that's close enough to getting it out that you can't imagine just giving it to him, but giving it to him is probably the safer play here. Grabbing the extension. Moving that 12 out beautifully. 3 ball spots up. Seven ball banks right around that 12. Like the 12. Yeah, I think he's probably wanting to stay away from that 4-11. That's just such a simple combo to manipulate for Oscar. I think Oscar's probably going to bank this 7 and get up table. He knows Ed's missed a couple balls. Make this 7 ball. The 4-11's very makeable. You could probably double him up on the 4-11 with a little inside. Gonna go wide for him. Not quite able to get back across table. I think Ed's probably gonna shoot this 12 and try to get under the 7. It's kind of a free shot. The only thing that can go wrong is missing and catching the double kiss. Converts on that one, gets under the 7. Ed Hobbs closing in on a victory. If he can draw off this ball and make contact with the 11-4, he's in good shape. Misses the bank, a little high. I wouldn't be surprised to see Oscar shoot this combo. Drills it. Yeah, very nice shot. Cutting this 4 ball on the other hand. Very makeable, big pocket from there. And he does have an easy way to get on the top side of that 7, so not to sell a shot. Slips it in there. 3 railer on the 7. It's a little bit tight, but it goes. Oscar needs 2. Just kicking it out of there. Beautifully kicking it back to his side. Gets a rail. Wow. Leaves the 3-railer for Ed. 6-4 lead for Oscar Dominguez. Ed doesn't like it. Just gonna knock this 6 over to double kiss it, hold it on the rail, I guess. Oscar's got a funky, weird 3-railer that he's not going to shoot. Just getting over to try to protect the 7. I don't think he got there. I don't think so at all. Ed likes this kick into the thin side of the 7. Didn't want to move that 10 ball. Gets real fortunate and doubles him up, though. Oscar's going to use the 10 to get the 7 out of there. Just kick under. Didn't seem like he had enough of that ball. Definitely gets there. Does he sell a bank? It's a lot to twist that 7 ball from there. Yeah, if you're going to spin this one, you almost got to hit the 7 ball parallel with a rail. Just to give it enough room to... Yep, ball just didn't turn for him. Yeah, I don't think he's got the 2-railer on the 7 here. 3-railer on the 10, though, definitely goes. Just knocking it over to his side. I don't think he's going to like that either. Leaves a pretty free bank for Ed on the 10 ball here. It's a tricky little stroke, but if you can get back behind the 3-8, you should be able to protect it also. Takes a pretty big swing at it, overhits a little bit, barely misses the pocket. Oscar's got a bank on the 8 or a kick on behind the 10. Only needs 2 balls. He might go aggressive here. Ed only needs 4, though. You miss that bank, and Ed's within 1. Big shot here for Oscar. Hits it good. Oscar Dominguez, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's a big shot. Oscar's out ball here. Still picking a spot. I think that's a really important thing. Very rarely are we shooting a ball to just make the ball, and I think that's how we end up missing a lot of our out ball situations. Still picks that spot, gets all the way over there. Oscar Dominguez taking down game number 1 here at the 2024 Derby City Classic. It's gonna be Ed's break, I believe. Oh, he still needs one. You know, I thought I might have got that wrong. I think at one point we might have credited 1 to Oscar that went to Ed. So, cut on the 7. Boy, is he going to gamble the game on that, though. Might try to Z-bank this 10 ball. So hard to resist cutting this 7. Comes a little short. Oh my gosh. And the 7... potentially bankable for Ed. He's got to stay real low, though. Yeah, I think he'd have to run up and back if he's going to try and do that. That's what he's trying. Almost easier to bank that 7 from the high side. I think he got a little shallow. Maybe he can duck under that 7, but really tough to not double kiss here. Double kiss here can also cost you a scratch. So some high inside. Does get around it, hits that beautifully. And we got a 7-7 ball game. Is he going to make this ball or just knock it into the pocket? Does make it. Frees him on the rail. What a game one. I always swing at this bank and it never works out, which is why this shot is a lot smarter. Coming off the top side. Like to be a little tighter on the rail. Because Ed's probably going to shoot at this. This is a way safer bank. Yeah, boy, chance to win the game. How'd he hit it? Not quite well enough. Z-bank here for Oscar. If he wants to try it. Just gonna knock it over to his side. Sells a two-railer. Closer to the rail that gets, the harder that two-railer gets. But again, a pretty free shot here for Ed. Avoiding the double kiss, that's a big part of it. If Oscar doesn't shoot the Z-bank here, I think he's not going to shoot a Z-bank. So I will quit, hoping he's going to. So some one ball, one pocket theory there, getting him close to that side pocket, trying to avoid selling the two-railer. I think he got close if he didn't get there. That looks pretty close. Ed Hobbs, man, hitting that same spot of the table from all over the place. Excellent try. I think you just kick under this one. Comes from the backside, moves it over there. Well, Ed's getting his two-railer workout here. Then again. Leaves Oscar a shot. Yeah, he's not going to be happy about that. Yep, legitimate cut here for Oscar Dominguez. Got to make sure he stays out of that top right corner pocket here. Drills it. Wow, Oscar Dominguez this time taking down game number one here at the 2024 Derby City Classic. Stream sponsors of this event here: Hustlin' Clothing USA, JB Custom Q Cases, Jerry Olivier Custom Qs, Lippman Lights out of Portland, Oregon, and Locked and Loaded Custom Billiard Apparel. Thanks for tuning in here with Railbirds TV. Like I said, my name is Somerfield Habener. This is Ed Hobbs racking them up there. Another player from the Northwest. And man, just a killer game one here. That's any idea of what we're in for the rest of this match. It's going to be a good one. Caught that wing ball. So caught that second ball a little fat. 8-ball leaked out on him. Catches it. That scratch is very common. Oscar quick to the table. Ed's going to go down a ball. Man, how does that 6, 10, 12 look? Knocking that 15 out of there, banking it, getting in the stack, making the bank. Beautiful shot for Oscar. 4-8 is a combo. Just looking at that 10-12 now. Looking at this nippy little three-railer. Wow. Hard to get enough power on that shot. Not making it, but gets a pretty fortunate roll there. Oscar will take one and done. I'm surprised he didn't play that combo. He hits those so good. Ed on the wrong side of the stack. He's got to figure out how to get back to the bottom side of the screen here. Looks like just gonna knock this 14, freeze on the 13. Just enough to get a rail. Hangs it in the pocket. Looks like he's looking at cutting the thin side of the 7. Does that 10 ball come off the 2? Oh, playing the 7 off the 5. It's a creative idea. I like it. Ten ball trying to bank under and catch the underside of something here. It's a nice shot. Yeah, boy, just a little too fat to get that 10 to slide over. So banking this 5 and really just looking at the 1 or the 9 not really as a threat. I mean, leaves him nice and straight. He can pluck 1 off it. Maybe he can roll down and bank that 7, but chances are Ed's not going to shoot for 1 and risk the game. If he can get all the way under it, the 10 ball does bank. You are kind of forced to shoot here. Drills it, holds for the 6, and this is a better position to be in. Just looking at playing into the 8 and the 4. I would think he would try and come under the 10. Wants to use the stack though. Gets a lot of balls moving that way. Good shot for Ed Hobbs. That one's going to spot up. He'll be back to even. Oscar's got a pretty free look at this 11. I would think he would bank the 11 under, try to catch the bottom side of the 7. So just trying to straight bank the 11, moves the 6. Pretty close. This 5 ball combo for Ed's close too. The 3, 1, 8, 4, 10. All right, gonna bank this 2. Take a snappy little shot at it. Drill. Oh, I thought it was good. Good try there. Hits it in a way that he gets pretty safe. Oscar does have a 2-railer on the 2 ball. Also probably wouldn't mind moving these balls here. He's taking a look at that 4-10 right now. That's a little bit scary. I just try to use the 9 to move those balls, unfreeze the shot. Looks like the 410's aimed a little bit low, so he's kind of on the wrong side to take that from here. Close proximity on the 3. Looking at banking the 5 to his side and just rolling down table. Catches the double kiss, and that's not good. 5 ball, very makeable. Man, how much can he protect against a scratch with that 14? 2 ball, also very bankable. A lot less risky. It's a pretty good line. Not quite able to get that ball in there, though. Yeah, is that 410 wired? I think it's a little low. Kicking that 2 ball out of there. Very nice removal. 2 ball hangs up. Oscar might just put that 2 ball down. If Ed's confident in that 14 protecting him, I think he might bank this 5 ball. Follow down with the cue ball, try to end up behind the 11. It's hit a little high. Wow, barely gets away with that one. I think he might have even protected Oscar from his 9 ball. As much distance as there is, that's a pretty bankable shot. Might be forced to 2-rail the 2 ball here, and if he elevates, he can kind of slide right between that 13-10. Pocket opening is helping him here. Overcuts or underhits it, one of the two. He's got a good amount of ball to work with here on the 3 ball. I kind of like following this ball and trying to make the 14 as well. That way I'm using the 14 to protect my 13 and pushing balls to my pocket. Wow, how'd he hit that one? I can't believe that ball didn't fall. Nice play for Ed Hobbs. And Oscar's just going to have to give him that one. Yeah, I don't see anything worth taking the risk of Ed being off to the races with that. Little ball from there. Ooh, catches it. 1-1 ball game. Beautiful shot for Oscar Dominguez there. Yeah, this is a tricky spot to be in. You can use the 10 ball in a lot of different ways from here. Just got to make sure you do something you'd like to with the 6. And you don't really want to move those balls towards Oscar's pocket. So plays it safe. Does move it a little further towards Oscar's pocket, but he'll be all right. Oscar will either thin off the 10, go up table, or back behind the stack. Just takes a foul. Oscar not afraid to take a foul in most any situation, and you definitely see him use that. Really tells you about how much the advantage of position means in this game. Not a guy worried about running one extra ball. Yeah, and you see how long Ed's got to think about it, you know it was a good foul to take. It's like either kicking or thinning off the 9 to come down table. 2 railing the 9 ball. Coming 3 rails with the Q. Aggressive shot. I like that a lot. It laid pretty natural for him, but Oscar just putting him right back in that spot. And gonna try to follow this 6 ball down. So knock the 6 out, cue ball path, gonna follow. Don't want to clip the 3 here. Good shot. Looks like he's looking at twisting that 3, but boy, is that tough from there. And you're so straight on, it's hard to really get the cue ball out of the way. You can definitely bank the 3 behind the pack, but yeah, he likes his position right now. Still looking at that 8-4-10. I do think it's lined up a little low, but it's been known to swing. Six ball really impeding his path here. 6 is cuttable, but it's probably going to put him in a spot where Oscar can make that 12. 12 is very threatening for Ed right now. Hold on. All right, so long distance to really get the cue ball to freeze in there. Works out pretty well. I think he even cut the bank lane off on the 13. Oscar can see it, but I don't think he can see enough of it to just bank it. Oscar can see enough of it to just bank it. Comes wide. That's a pretty effective shot. I'd like to have been a little lower on that 15 ball, though. Ed can kick behind this 11. Yeah, ideally, Ed's going to kick behind this 11 and roll under the 3. Can kind of hit a kick and stick stroke on this. Yeah, so hitting that a little harder than he normally would to really try to move those balls. It's got a lot of traffic to get through. Doesn't work out great for him. Looks like he's got the room to 2-rail this 10 ball and keep the cue under the 7. He's looking at the 7 and just avoiding the 10. That's a nice shot. A lot of kicking in this match. Gonna try to use that 9 to get under the 12 ball, I would imagine. Just trying to go right back into him. Two-railer on this 8 ball. Catch some draw on this and bring it back towards your hole. Oh, almost caught a good kiss off that 2. Yeah, if he gets past that side pocket or kisses off the 2, it's a really dangerous ball. If Ed can see a thin enough piece of this 9 ball, he'll try to just thin off the 9, get behind the 313, but I think he might be jammed up there. Wow, he's taking a look off the 7 between the 9-11, and that is a small path. Might be all he's got, though. Yeah, so doesn't force that one. He knew he was in trouble. Knows he's going to sell a bank, but that's about all you can do. I think Oscar will consider banking the 9 into the 415. The 4 looks like it's going in a pretty good direction. Biggest reason being the cue path there just leads him right behind that 10, 12, 11. He doesn't like it. Nice little kick. Catches the 10 ball first. Looking at clearing all 3 of them, but I don't think he's got enough of the 10 to do so. Bank on the 7 ball here, very risky. Yeah, Ed's in a spot. Looks like he might try to play off the 12, off the foot rail, and between the 11, 14. I sure don't like that line. Nice little shot. Really gets himself out of trouble. 14's a huge ball from there. Great shot from Ed. Like playing off the 11 and trying to get behind the 12 here. Wow. Can't hit that ball much better. Married to the 12. I guess he'd like to have, a quarter ball eclipse on the bottom there, but that is a very nice shot from Oscar. Really takes, a huge percentage of the table away from Ed. And Ed's got to get in a ticky fight here, and it's a losing battle for him from that position. But maybe Oscar will leave him a little more room at some point. Looking at this bank on the 11. Right, 11 into the 8, just marrying him on those balls. Leaves Ed the 15, though. Real close proximity, so Ed might not be able to shoot it and get away with it, but if he's got the room, he can shoot that 15 at his hole and roll forward. Yeah. Coming across the face of that too much. Playing the 2-railer on the 8. It's close. Wow. Hangs it up. Again, aggressive shot from Ed pays off. I don't think Oscar can afford to shoot this 14. He either can't afford to or he absolutely has to. Now he can use the 7 to pocket the 8. I think that's what he'll do. Give the guy credit for a shot, but keep your advantage. One ball also very shootable. The fortunate situation of that. Oh, tries to make him both. Doesn't get away with it. Look out, cue ball. This could hurt. So Oscar catches a scratch, and Ed in a great position here. Ed needs 7. Oscar will drop down to -1. Yeah, that 9-4-15 isn't working in Ed's favor right now, but we can either start with the 7 or the 1 here. If the 1's out of jail, take that. Taking a look at it. So yeah, a lot easier to get on the bottom side of those, the 15-10, 3-13. It's not an easy rack to pick 7 out of. All right, so just going 8 first. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, I would have thought he would have used a different ball, but he was hoping he could just slide under there, Doesn't quite get there. I mean, do you use the 9 off the 4 here to bank back at it and follow with the cue ball? Again, kind of a risky shot. It's hard to only pick one out of that. Just kicking behind it. All right, so taking a big swing at the bank. That works out pretty well. Still a good shot, but I think a little frustration there from Ed. But executes that beautifully. I mean, it's hard to hit a ball with that speed, move that many balls, and not sell anything out. Just knocking the 10 out. Stays underneath the 3. Yeah, opening those balls up there is the right move for Ed. Does a good job protecting everything. Oscar's just going to have to slip off this 3 ball behind the 13, I believe. Keeps the 3 nice and low. Keeps the 13 out of bankable range. Ed might bank this 3 back at the bottom side of the 4 here. Follow with the cue ball. All right. Kind of hits the wrong spot there. If you can beat the kiss on this 13, it's shootable, but boy, it's lined up pretty close to the high side of the pocket. Yeah, Oscar disappointed that one. Got in a tough line for him. Just going to kick the 13 out of there. Looking at the 4-9, it looks like it's lined up high of the pocket, but coming straight into it. Wow, Ed's kicking right into it. If you hit that 4 flush, the 9 can go. Very aggressive play there from Ed Hobbs. Oscar needs 9, but this is the guy that can find him. Looks like he's probably going to hit a pretty full stroke and try and get all the way back to that rail. Just really want to be careful not to get stuck behind those balls. Easy to run into that 13, slip up behind the 3. Just stays high of the whole problem. Probably just going to roll this ball in. Hope you can leave yourself on the bottom side of the 9. It's a great line. Yeah, you think about coming into those balls, seeing what you can jostle up. That's what he does. Misses the bank pretty wide. Not wide enough that he's going to sell a return bank. And 1 spots for Ed. If he can get underneath this 9 ball, a good chance for him. Boy, that bank looks jammed to me, though. So he did have enough to stiff it, not able to get it in there. Again, removal here from Oscar. Hits that beautifully. Head's got quite the little cluster working on him, his side over there. Definitely takes away the advantage of having a bunch of balls on your side. Like to move those at some point. Kind of leaves him a free combo bank here. Oscar likes to bank on the 6 ball, or just going to go float up behind the 14. Doesn't quite get there. Can put the 2 on his side pretty easily here. Keep the cue ball low. I mean, ideally you'd bank that 2 ball a little wide of the 4 and use the 4 to double it up. Yeah, it's just going to move that 1. Back cuts the 4 ball. Very aggressive from Ed Hobbs. Overcuts it. Let's see if Oscar can make him pay. He needs 7. He'll draw this one behind the 2 ball. Doesn't look like he's lining up low. He's focused down table. Trying to get all the way to that 4 ball. Gets there. Does he scratch? Wow. Catches a rough. That's a tiny window to go for. So gonna lose that one and spots a couple. All right, Ed needs 6. It's a tough starting position. What's going on with a 12 ball? Can't see how much you can see there. And it looks like the 9's got part of a pocket, but big 13 from there. He's trying to get all the way, well, I guess just on top of the 15, push it forward. Yeah, so not even trying to pocket it. I like that, and I think it worked out all right. I don't think he can sneak the 15 through there. Shooting on the 7. Definitely wide on the bank, but gets the 7 ball close to his hole. Is it too hard enough? No, it is not. All right, well, Oscar really pushing for that tight position on the last one. Looking at laying up and banking the 13 here. 7, yeah, not really right to get back to the 2. Gives himself the bank. I think last time he focused a little more on how he was going to hit those balls and move them. Really want to make this. Had taken this kick on the 9 ball. Tries to come rail first. Not able to convert on that one, but does knock it out of bankable range. Oscar opening up those balls. I think different people see that one differently, you know. Some people would say they like that wedge in front of his hole. Oscar wants balls to shoot at here. It's a lot more now. It's starting to look like a down table game all of a sudden. Takes a swing at the 10, catches a scratch. Boy, oh boy, and all those balls up table are definitely in a help ed, but Oscar Dominguez, if that 4 is out of the kitchen, he needs 6. Looks like it's not. So yeah, take this, roll all the way down to bank the 12. Never mind. Holding up there. Not sure what the thinking on that shot was. Just taking as 1. All right, we'll take in a 3-1 lead. Just playing off the 6, maybe making it for him. It's kind of dangerous. This back cut on the 4 is makeable. It's pretty easy to come over and back also. 6 ball looks a little low to me. Thinning off the 11. Some all the way back down table. Yeah, boy, that 6 ball looks makeable, and I'm pretty sure either the 8 was spotted centered, or the 8 might have gotten centered or off spotted. Just gonna knock this over to your side of the table. Yeah, protects it using the pack there. Boy, I don't see anything clear for Ed here. Don't really want to move the 9 ball. So use the stack. It's back down to the rail.
Okay, for the 2 hour mark. So after Oscar shoots and then you shoot, we would go into the 4 balls in the kitchen, only 4 balls in the kitchen. Start with a spot, the ball. We're actually 4 minutes short of 2 hours. We started 3:45.
All right, so trying to be quiet so you can hear the referee interaction here.
No, we were 2 o'clock.
You put this on the bench clock. We didn't start till like 4.
Yeah. I'll give you guys this. Okay.
Yeah. We said, we said, yeah, we might get called because of the match.
Yeah. That's why we checked. So I'll give you an extra 18.
Yeah.
6 o'clock. No problem. All right, thanks, guys.
So you hear the referee discussing the 2 hour rule. There's a rule at Derby City Classic now where after 2 hours, any 4 balls, if there's 4 balls above the head string, the 5th ball closest to the head rail will spot. They're not at the 2 hour mark there, obviously, you guys can see on your timeline. But it changes things dramatically. I don't know how much it's helped speed these matches up. I don't know how much the pocket size has helped speed these matches up, but definitely would have come into play last year when the pocket size was reduced. It's a good reminder for players when they start their match and somebody is on their table late and that affects your start time. It's good to have that noted on your sheet. Because, yeah, this does have the makings of a long match. Kind of a free bank for Oscar here on the 8 ball. No, looks like he's just coming off the high side of the 5. Ed's found a way to make some offensive stuff happen, but that wedge is really affecting his ability to do anything. Hanging on a ball is always a good idea. Pretty free bank on the 10 ball here, though. Doesn't like it. Really keeping Ed married to that rail. This is as free as a free bank gets right here. Ooh. Able to make it, able to stay out of that side pocket there. Gotta look at the 5 also. You gotta be careful with the 4 here. And the 1. Yeah, he hit this one. So he wanted to hit it hard, get all the way over there. That could cost him. Ed's going to have to do some thinking, but you can pull some balls out of this one. If that 6 ball cuts, it's a really good sign. You can kind of play into that 3 ball, leave yourself the 14. Very nice shot. Leaves himself a little steep on the 14. But big pocket from there, very makeable. Is it going to get there? Oh, wow. I thought he hit it good. Pretty good line here for Oscar to get back behind the 10. He needs 4 of them. Looking at the 4-1 combo right now. Which looks good, but man, that's tough to shoot when you got a guy with a ball hanging in his pocket. All right, moves the 4. Gets funky on the 1. You're still shooting this, though. Yeah. Try to spin under the 411. Makes it. Gets funky on the 4. Man. Might not. I mean, you need to. You got a back cut on the 4. Can he hold to the 10 ball, though? I don't think he got it there. And that's going to leave it very bankable for Ed. Probably try and leave himself a little back bank here so he can get back up table for the 10. So 14-4. He's a great angle here. Ooh, that one doesn't slip in. Look out, cue ball. Man. Tough scratch there for Ed Hobbs. Spotting 2. I don't really understand why you're spotting 2 there. 3, 6, 8. Yeah, he spotted an extra ball. I think he was counting. I think he thinks he made that ball, but he didn't make it. Yeah, because count's definitely off. Yeah, just spotted an extra ball. Which, if I'm Oscar, I certainly don't want that 14-6 out there. Tries to make contact, not able. Just gonna give him this 4 ball. Again, if you're ever unsure of the score before you shoot, it's a great idea to count up your balls. Count the number of balls on the table versus the number of balls in your pockets. Always gonna add up to 15. Count is now correct. After giving him that ball. Swinging at this 12 ball. Hits it real wide. It's a funky bank, but pretty free on the 12 ball. Just playing it safe. Even Ed, another look at it. Not quite as free from this position for Ed. Got to get around that 11 and avoid the scratch. Man, that was asking a lot. Oh, so a few big scratches for Ed Hobbs there. Only spotting 1 this time. Looks like, yeah, nothing doable here. So looking at just thinning this 4 ball. Probably can't pocket it, but hopefully you can use the other 2 balls there to protect the 4. Hits it good. Ed looking at kicking this 4 ball out. That's going to be all she wrote on that one. Well, rough end of that game for Ed Hobbs, man. We've had a great match so far, but 2-0 lead for Oscar Dominguez, and he's breaking. Tournament sponsors of this event here at the Derby City Classic, Diamond Billiards Products. They're right there in Indiana, just south of this casino. Beautiful tables, beautiful lights, great people to work with. Thank you to Diamond Billiard Products. Simonis Cloth, Aramith Billiard Balls, Outsville AccuRack. They make the template rack here at Derby City Classic. And for lots of you out there, AccuStats Video Productions and Master Billiard Chalk. Oscar to break here. Hits him good. Oh, deadly. Boy, 3 big scratches for Ed in that last game. I would personally love to see Ed walk away here for a minute, take a bathroom break here. You just can't help but be frustrated with that kind of stuff. He's shot so good. So his ball's out of there. Leaks out just a little far. Does Oscar like the 15? Or does he like the 5-13-6? Jeez. Looks like it might be lined up a little low. Oscar misses that ball. Wow. He's Ed dead in on the 8. Hey, caught that one fat. Tries to get up there high enough. I don't think he's going to like the line on that 3. Shooting at his hole. Wow. Drills that bank. It's a big shot. How does a 9-5 look? Looks low to me. Looks like he can kind of agitate some balls by using the 14 to come behind the 15. Taking a good look at that. Ed wants to fire some balls in the pocket. Here we go. Oh, 5 ball coming barely high. Gets away with it though. That 9 does not pass the 11, I don't believe. So pretty fortunate for such a big swing there. Oscar can just knock the 9 towards his hole and freeze behind the 11. He's looking like he might have a pocket. Boy, it's tight if he does. He's got to protect against the 5 ball here. He did have a pocket. Sweet little shot there. This is dangerous. Nice shot, gets around there for the 15. I mean, they're all there. He needs 6. He's either going to have to move that 14-11 or he's going to have to come back behind the 10-1-7. Yeah. Looks like he leaves himself a good line here. Hopefully he can just make contact with that 11 ball, push it down a little bit. Pulls those apart beautifully. It's either going to have to come all the way under the 5 or go between the 11-5. I think he'll probably go between the 11-5 here. Hits it nice. Three to go. Yeah, at this point, I see him coming up for the 7 ball. He wants to stick around. Wow. That is a hard shot to hit, elevated like that. That nice little stun draw. Beautiful shot for Oscar. I don't know how much of an angle he left himself to punch up for one of these balls, though. He's trying to come around 3 rails. Wow. You gotta really muscle that ball. I mean, couldn't have hit it much better. He caught some air, though, and that cut his run a little short. Well, he'll get stuck with 7. And Ed Hobbs coming back to the table. The way Ed's been playing, he's just going to fire this 12. 13. Drills the 13 ball. Wow. That's a bold shot right there. Why not 2-rail this 12 at this point? He's got a 3-railer on the 6. Looking at that 7-1 interaction, but unless he's playing safe, and I haven't seen him do a lot of that lately, I don't think he's going to mess with that. Can play the 3-railer on the 6 in a pretty safe way. How'd he hit it? Man. Good look at it. Unfortunately does leave Oscar a look at the cut for his out ball. Big side pocket there, though. Oscar might just get this 6 out. It's a crafty little shot. Does he get there? Does protect the 6 ball. I have to guess Ed's going to bank this 10 and freeze him on the rail. Looking at the cut on the 7. Whatever he's going to do, he's going to get some stuff moving here. Cut the 7, knock the 1 out, float down behind the 6. Wow. Again, very aggressive shot from Ed Hobbs. Gets away with it, hits it good. I mean, Oscar's got to be thinking, all right, let this guy just swing, but he keeps getting close. I mean, every time. One of those shots could really turn this game around. Bank the 1, float down behind the 12. Doesn't want to leave him the 12. Off the 6 ball. Wow, hangs it in the hole. Use the 12 to double up. Really nice shot. What do you do from here? Really nice shot. can no longer fire balls off the table here at Derby City. So a move that used to be a popular one is no longer legal. Pops that one out of there. Stay low, 1 ball. And we're a spot shot away from the victory here for Oscar Dominguez. Or the 7. 7 looks pretty good too. That's going to be it, folks. Oscar Dominguez winning that match against Ed Hobbs 3-0. A lot closer than the score dictated, though. Thanks for tuning in here at the 2024 Derby City Classic. If you like what you see, like what you're hearing, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to let you know every time I go live here with Railbirds TV. Thanks for tuning in.